Have you ever wanted something so badly you'd do anything to get it? I want to tell you a story about a man named Yarrow. Yarrow was tired of being poor. He lived a life of struggle, and he dreamt not just of comfort, but of true, undeniable greatness. He didn't want a full belly, he wanted a legacy. One day, he heard whispers, rumors of a treasure hidden beyond the clouds, a prize for the boldest of souls. This idea took root in his mind and wouldn't let go, so Yarrow began to build. He scavenged and stole, piecing together a flying machine from broken parts, scrap metal, and what little was left of his dreams. Everyone told him he was crazy, that it was impossible, but Yarrow wasn't listening. Against all logic, against all reason, his contraption worked. With a roar and a shudder, he launched himself into the air, piercing the blue veil of the sky. He crashed through the clouds and found himself a place he couldn't have imagined. He had reached the upper realm. Up here, time felt different, moving like honey, thick and slow. The very air buzzed with a quiet, immense power. He saw it immediately in the center of a floating, ethereal altar. There was a golden chest. It was small, no bigger than a shoebox, but as he approached, he felt its presence. It seemed to pull the light from the air. When he reached out to lift it, he was shocked by its weight. It was impossibly heavy, as if it contained the gravity of a star, but Yarrow was determined. He strained, his muscles screaming, and finally lifted it. His mission was complete. The journey back was a blur. When his flying machine crashed back to Earth, the chest seemed to recognize his return. In an instant, a wave of energy pulsed from it, and Yarrow knew his wish had been granted. He stumbled out of the wreckage and instinctively touched a nearby rock. It shimmered and in a heartbeat turned to solid gold. He laughed, a wild, triumphant sound. He grabbed a handful of dirt, and it became golden dust in his palm. He touched his ruined machine, and it transformed into a shining, priceless statue. He was a king, the world was his. His joy, however, was short-lived. That evening, he sat down to a feast, his first as a wealthy man. But the moment his fingers touched the bread, it turned to gold. He reached for an apple, and it became a heavy, inedible ornament. Panic began to creep in. He was surrounded by wealth, yet he was starving. He tried to drink water, but the cup he held turned to gold, and the water with it. The days that followed were a living nightmare. He couldn't eat. He couldn't sleep on his bed because the sheets and mattress would harden into gold beneath him. He was utterly alone. The thought of touching another person, of turning a friend or a loved one into a cold, lifeless statue, filled him with a horror he had never known. The very power he craved had become his prison. He locked himself away in a golden mansion of his own making, a gilded cage where he could only watch the world through a window. His despair grew heavier than the treasure he had stolen. One night, lost in a storm of regret and loneliness, he slumped against a wall. Overwhelmed by his sorrow, he clutched his own chest, a gesture of pure, human agony. There was a faint shimmer, a warmth that spread through his body. It was his final mistake. By morning, the sun streamed into the silent, golden room. But there was no man left to see it. Standing alone, catching the morning light, was a golden shell in the shape of a man, a hollow monument to a wish gone wrong. Far above, beyond the clouds, the heavens settled, their balance restored. The story of Yarrow serves as a powerful reminder. Power without wisdom, strength without restraint, doesn't build you up. It consumes you until there's nothing left. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like and subscribe for more tales that make you think. See you next time.